rate of change in slope. So slope is defined as the change in the y-coordinates divided by the change in the x-coordinates, or you might have seen it as y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. You may also hear it sometimes, we call it delta y over delta x. So we have 4 types of slope that it can be. We can have a positive slope where the line rises to the right. We can have a negative slope where it falls to the right. A zero slope and a no slope, those are different. So a zero slope, think about horizontal. It's got a 0 in it. Those are all horizontal lines. And a no slope is a vertical line. Think about this guy as there's no way to write it in an mx plus b form. Okay, so number 1 there, it says find the slope of the line that passes through 1, 3 and -2, -3. Well, there's really 2 ways to do this, and you've got a graph here and we've got some room to do it. So we can use the formula. So the slope formula says I'm going to take the difference in my y's divided by the difference in my x's. All right, so I'm going to give this guy x1, y1, x2, y2, and it doesn't matter as long as I keep it consistent. So -3 minus 3 divided by -2 minus 1. All right, well, -3 minus 3 more is -6. -2 minus 1 more is -3. And -6 divided by -3 is +2. Well, let's see if we can get that same thing when we graph that. So if I graph the point 1, 3 and -2, -3, and I use my ruler. I can also count, starting with my leftmost point, and I can do rides over runs. So here I go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, over 1, 2, 3. So again, 6 divided by 3 is 2. You might also see it use the letter M. When we talk about slope, we tend to use the letter M when we do that. Okay? Number 2, it says graph the line passing through -1, 3 with a slope of -3/4. All right, so -1, +3, and a slope of -3/4. So the negative means I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and if I go to the right, I'm always right. Right 4, down 3, right 4, and connect my dots, because those are not the only 2 points on that line. Give it some arrows, and there's my graph going through the point -1, 3, and has a slope of -3/4. All right. Then it says parallel lines. So parallel lines are lines that have the same slope. So number 3 there says graph the line through 1, -2 that's parallel to the line x minus y equals -2. Well, we need to find the slope of this guy. So I'm going to rearrange this equation so he's in slope-intercept form. So -y is equal to -x minus 2. Divide everybody by negative, so we get x plus 2. So the slope of this equation is 1 from that. So I want to graph the line that starts here and has a slope of +1. Okay, so +1, -2. And my slope is 1, so I'm going to go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. Again, it's positive, so I'm going to go up. If I go to the right, I'm always right. So this is my new one that they wanted me to graph. I could indeed graph my original. I'm going to do that in form so you can see it in a different color. So if I started a +2 and I go up 1, right 1. So that guy right there is my original equation. You can see that they are indeed parallel. Okay, so parallel lines have the same slope. perpendicular lines are lines whose slopes are opposite reciprocals. When you multiply them together, you get a -1. Okay, so keyword opposite. One has to be positive, one has to be negative. And reciprocal means I'm going to flip the fraction. Okay, so number 4 there says, graph the line through the point 2, 1 that is perpendicular to the line 2x minus 3y equals 3. Okay, well let's rearrange this guy to get our slope. So -3y is equal to -2x plus 3. Divide everybody by -3. So y equals positive 2/3 x minus 1. Okay, this guy has a positive slope, and he starts at -1, so he's going to be going this way. So I'm going to do that. I'll just go ahead and do it in the purple. So -1, positive 2, so up to rate 3. Okay, this is the line that they gave me. I want a line that goes through the point 2, 1, so right there, that's perpendicular to that. Notice the only way to get perpendicular to that would be to have a negative slope. Okay, so my perpendicular slope, if you remember from geometry, an upside down t is perpendicular slope. I'm going to flip this guy over and change the sign. So -3/2. So I'm going to start at my point 2, 1, and I'm going to go -3/2. So I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, right 2. Again, you go to the right, you're always right. And there's my perpendicular line. Notice again, this guy is positive slope, this guy has a negative slope. So I do get those perpendicular lines.